Hello, Eat, Move, Live 52 friends, tuning in to say happy November and bring you up to date to some of the things that we're doing this month, namely connected to your hands, wrists, and shoulders. November is National Novel Writing Month, which means that many people are going to try to get 50,000 words out and get their novel ready to at least like a rough first draft this month. Roland coaches a lot of writers. He's working on a whole brand new novel this month as well. So imagine those guys are going to be stuck for many hours a day on a computer trying to get 1,667 words down at least. That's the minimum every day so that they can complete their 50,000 words a month. If you write for a living, if you work on a computer for a living, and many of my movement friends all over the world are also on a computer supporting through programs and videos so many clients and students internationally. So none of us are immune to this work time on a computer where often we're at a desk for hours and our hands and fingers and wrists and elbows and shoulders all the way up to the neck and the jaw, and of course our torso feels it. So what we've done this month is we are going to be bringing up some very practical things that you can do to do self-care for your body at work. We're starting today, and I'm going to be doing one of these videos every week. In addition to that, our healing movement, the 30-minute classes that you get in your email every Thursday, is going to be named Hands, Wrists, and Shoulders. So you're going to be able to really practice and go deep with that. But workstation moves, let's start today. So the first thing we're going to do is just become aware that you have hands. I hope you do. And you're going to just rub them together across the midline of your body. Your hands have a nice little image up in your brain, and that helps wake up your brain to the fact that you have more than just fingertips, which are kind of miraculous and cool and have fingerprints. But you have more than just fingertips. You have hands, and they have very rich sensory information that travels to the rest of your body. Your hands are miraculous and wonderful, and unlike your feet that are usually bound in shoes, your hands are more free to move, so they're more dexterous. It's a little bit easier to do healing movement and moves with your hands than it is with your feet. In the beginning, when we try to move the toes separately, it's a big mess. But with the hands, it's a lot easier. So first, we have just woken up your hands. And what you're going to do next is you're going to turn them over and bring them at shoulder width and bring them kind of like you're carrying a tray, like a waiter carry, and spread your fingers out. And just look at your hands and notice that right now, your forearms, which are connected to your hands, can be turned in and out. And if you exaggerate and continue to turn your forearms in, you're going to eventually feel something in your shoulders and something in your scapula, in your shoulder blades. And if you go out, same thing, you're going to feel something in the shoulders and the shoulder blades. And if you pull up your sleeve, if you have a long sleeve, you can actually straighten one arm in front of you and do that here, and see that you're both able to move your forearm completely independently of the upper arm, or you can move the arm from the shoulder joint. This is all going to make sense in a moment. Let's do the other side. So your arm is straight out in front of you. You're going to move it in and out, rotate it in and out, which we'll call pronation and supination, just from the elbow down, right? And then try it from the shoulder down. And notice that as you do this, you can even do both sides. This fancy, one goes out, one goes in. Notice as you do this that something is happening all the way up to your shoulder blades. Cool. So why is this important? The way that the arm usually functions is when you're walking, whether you're sitting or standing here. I'm sitting on the floor, so I'm just going to be lazy and extend my arm behind me. When we walk, this upper arm bone, your humerus, has a particular orientation. So it's pointing straight, but it also has a little bit of an internal and external rotation, rotates a little bit like this. When we work all day, when we're stuck on a computer, what happens is our palms are turned down. If you have a keyboard that does this, I would really love to know about it. My keyboard is still upside down. So when you rotate your forearm, and respectively your wrists and your fingers, and you type, what happens is this inward rotation that affects the forearm is also affecting your upper arm. It's also affecting all the way to your shoulder blade. And depending on how tight you might be, because of years of doing this, or perhaps you have a manual job that's gotten all of this up here quite tight, or if you've watched some of our previous videos on stress and tension, you know how we carry, because of our nervous system settings, some of this tension up in our shoulders. What will happen is, as we're typing, as we live our life here in this rotated in place, the rest of the body kind of goes with it. And so you can get your upper back that starts to kind of curve, and your head starts to travel forward. And by the end of the day, you don't really feel so great in your body. So just right now, while watching this, if you can turn your palms up and just place them on your upper legs and relax your shoulders, and just notice what it's like to give this kind of habit a little bit of a break. And my invitation to you is to watch yourself throughout the day. If you're not typing, if you're not doing something that really requires this internal rotation, that requires the arm to be rolled in, rest it up like this. And you might have noticed some of this if you go to yoga class or do mindfulness practice. If you have hours, sometimes, you know, we might do like an 8-hour sit. You might want to make sure that you're supported, and it really, really matters where your arms are. So take your breaks. If you're not really typing, if you're on the phone, if you're reading something, turn your palms over, and you can even put your wrists at shoulder width and relax your shoulders, and just give your body a little break from this constant draw to go in and to be rotated in. So just hang out here a little bit when you have a chance. And then take this up with you when you go outside of your workspace and you go for a walk. Observe how your arms are swinging. Notice if your arms want to go in front of your body, or notice if your arms are doing quite a bit of their normal job, swinging back and forth with this orientation of this marker here, which we call lovingly in restorative exercise the elbow pit. If you kind of dig around, you're going to find your bicep tendon here. Or maybe you can think about where they draw blood. It's an easy place to establish for the elbow pit. Make sure that those guys are pointing straight as you are walking. And so these are important things to look at alignment-wise, and little by little we'll also be building some very gentle workstation moves, as well as build your body moves for your home practice. We launched this Thursday with 30-minute practices in healing movement, and I'm also going to be coming in here and doing a little video like this once a week. In the meantime, if you'd like to improve your workstation experience, we have a handy download for you to make your workspace healthier, and I'm going to put the link in the comments below. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful and healthy rest of your workday and your week.